Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another real Bedrock tutorial episode. Today, we're going to be talking about Kelp. Now, before we get too far in here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that way you can get other updates on videos and everything that we do. Um, but today, like I said, we're going to talk about some Kelp here. This guy right here behind me. All right. Yeah, we want to go right here. Yeah. So, up until now, the old way is go swimming in the ocean and break your seaweed or kelp. Then you gotta swim around, pick it all up. Yeah, that's a pain in the butt. So we started making some old school style kelp farms, and this uses just a couple observers, sand at the bottom or whatever, some pistons. It all floats to the top, falls in the front here, and voila, we get a bunch of kelp. Now, this is very slow, but this is how we used to do it back in the day. And since Mojang wanted to be some butch about it, they decided to break one of our machines, one of our zero ticks, actually all the zero ticks. They started off with everything else, and we still had the sand shifting, which is this guy right here. And we enjoyed kelp forever. Also, they broke the XP machine that, yeah, we'll talk about that later. So this machine, used to come on. We hit that button to do the sand shift. Kelp, thousands of pieces of kelp would fly in there for us. And yeah, that's gone. So everybody else is going back to this style. Guess what? I've got something different for you here. A new style of kelp machine. Check this out. I can get roughly guesstimating about 6,000 to 6,060, give or take, plus or minus. And we just come over here. We hit this button. Look at that. The kelp starts flying. As you can see, it just starts filling up. So that is running full force. Now, before I show you how to build this, there is something I got to talk about on it. So I ran this guy here, and every time I start this up, it worked. Well, it said, no, I don't want to work. But let me go over here. There we go. See, this one here is working. But as soon as I flip this guy on, it breaks it. All right. So, and these are two set next to each other, side by side. But I can come over here. This guy turns on. Oh, of course, it's gonna be like that. I see how it is. Let's grab this here, throw this back in here. Okay, and then let's verify over here. We're still good there. We'll do this. We're gonna turn this back on. Really? Okay. This guy says, "No, we're gonna play with this." So if that happens, just swap your bucket locations around. And there we go. Put our kelp back down. And as you can see, now it starts working. We're going to go over to this side here. We're going to do the same thing here. See, now that one's working. These guys are literally right next to each other, just like that one was. This one over here will not work, but these over here will. So just to kind of give you an idea what causes that. So we got a map here. If you look, we're standing here. So in the upper left-hand corner, or let's go ahead and pull a map down. And so we're looking at our map here. All right, so if I turn around and face this way, I am going north. All right. So this is a very touchy system. So we want to go facing north. So the front can either face east or west. It does not matter, but the side to side, it needs to be north and south. All right. That's how this system is going to work. And this guy And every time, also, I will let you know, every time this break or the kelp says I'm done and it breaks, it's going to throw it down here. And most of the time, your water bucket goes with it. Your empty bucket normally will stay. Um, so that's why I have things set the way I do here. Now, to set this guy up, this is super, super, super simple. All right. We're going to use building material. Doesn't matter what you use. About 2 stacks, and that's just so you can do the entire building around it. You're going to want to use 2 chests, 2 hoppers, a barrel. The barrel's optional. I recommend the barrel. You're going to want to use 2 stone buttons, 2 dispensers, 1 piston, 1 cobble wall. All right, this is going to get us started. We're going to take now for the redstone, we're going to use a lever, 13 redstone, 1 redstone block, 1 sticky piston, and then inside the unit there, you're going to use 1 empty bucket, 1 full bucket, and a kelp. Now, for the barrel, I like to throw extra stuff in here. So some extra kelp, a couple extra buckets, empty and with water. So that way, when this does decide, I want to throw my stuff out just like that guy did there, and you have it set up in a system down here, I can just come over here, pull it out, put it in, get it started running again, and then go look for my water bucket that most likely went down to the furnaces or somewhere in my mix. So that is basically the gist of what we got going on there. So let's run over here. Now the size of this, okay, we are going to be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots for the building. And this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wide. So just count on an 8x8 section because we're going to have these 2 up front here for your chest. So what we're going to do is we're going to, over here, we're going to come about 4 or 5 blocks over here. Oh, that's the thing there. If you build the front of this facing towards the north or south, in between buildings, you need to have at least 4 or 5 spaces or it will not work. Now, to set up the front of this, we're going to go, I believe it's 3 in. Yes, it is 3 in. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to leave an open spot. 4, open spot. 5, 6. I think that 4 spots, then 4 spots. So that's a total of 8. Then we're going to come in here. We're going to break these 2 and this one and this one. We're going to take our chest and place there. Place a hopper there and make sure you crouch and sneak. So that way that flows straight this way into that. Okay. Then we're going to turn around. We're going to put a bucket there. And a bucket, but a barrel. Rid of these guys. I'm going to bring my lever down here. And we're going to set our lever right there. I believe that's where that goes. Right next to the barrel. Now we're going to come back here and we're going to build this guy up. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1 in the middle. Take the 2 buttons, we're going to place them right here. Then we're going to come around here and we're going to place the dropper there and there. You want it so that the faces are facing each other like they're going to kiss. Then we're going to put a block there, 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 and there, because we're going to have water in here. Then we're going to take any stone wall, cobblestone, does not matter. Place that in the middle and then there. The purpose behind this, because we're going to waterlog that, which is going to allow the water to come down. And if you remember, Mojang broke the water source with pistons. So we want to have water that comes down. But we also want to set it up so that way it never disappears. There's that. And this is the front of it. You just build the side walls up. 3 high is all you need. Now we're going to come around to the back side. This is where we get a little bit crazy. So we're going to start off with, we're going to put a temporary block there. Actually, before we do that, let's come back over here. Do our chests. And we're going to get rid of this stuff here. So we don't need the regular piston, the wall, the buttons, these guys. Those are all gone. Now let's get our redstone. And let's grab our bucket. Our kelp. And you know what? I fibbed here. We are actually missing a couple items. We are going to want 3 redstone torches, as well as a repeater. Now, depending upon how long your switch is, might need a second one. So, or a couple of them, if you're doing the multi-runs, and I'll show you on the backside what little bit I did change on that. That is that. Okay, let's get back over here. Okay. So we're going to start off with, we have a redstone there. Go here, redstone, there's 5 pieces here. And that's going to link your 2 droppers together. We have the temporary spot there. We're going to put that there. And then our redstone block, break that. Now coming off the back side here, temporary block. Then the block there's going to stay. We're going to put a redstone there. Block on top of that. And a redstone to the left. Break that bottom block. Now this is basic, simple right here. Now, coming off of this block right here, we want to put one right underneath it. We're going to put a redstone piece there and one on the ground there. And then a block above that, a block down below. Put our redstone torch there, block above that. Does this look familiar? Because now, next we're going to put is the repeater is going to go right there. But before we do that, we want to finish the circuit out. So we're going to put one more block here. And then our remaining redstone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, we'll make sure our switch is turned off. Then we can come back here and hit that. You'll see that activate once. We want this on a 2-tick cycle. Any slower or any faster, the system will not work. All right, we're going to come back around to this side. We'll put our first bucket of water right there so it comes down. Then we're going to come in here. We're going to start off with the water bucket to the left first and the empty bucket to the right. Put our kelp there. Now when we drop the kelp there, that will turn that into a water source. We don't have to worry about that now. We're going to flip it on. Now see how that kicked out on us? Now before we do anything else, so we're going to turn this back on. Now, as long as you got this guy bouncing like that, that torch and that torch, you're flashing on and off. And same thing with all the other stuff. You did it right. So now we're going back here. Do this side here. We had regular water bucket on the left. We're going to take the empty bucket out. We're going to put the water bucket in that side and then the empty bucket on this side. And fill the kelp back in and then turn it back on. Look at that. It is working. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to shut it off. Now, just so you can see here, we did run, all we did was we just shortened the length here to turn it into one big building. Okay. Other than that, everything is identical to this one. Now, this clock right here, in case you're not familiar with it, it is what I like to call the T clock. It just looks like a Y clock. Looks like that. This guy starts off with a torch there, torch here. If we want to turn it on and off, just throw a couple pieces of redstone in here. Put your lever here. But as soon as you throw this guy on, starts the clock. It's actually the same clock that we used on the sand shifter. So that is pretty much about it. And that is your Kelp machine in a pinch. Just so you know, the reason why I use buttons here, you can use a door too, or you can use panes of glass. Forewarning, if you use panes of glass, you want another way to get to your droppers. And then you'll have to have another way to get to your Kelp. And that's just a big pain in the butt to me. So either a door or buttons or even signs will work here. I think the buttons just look a little bit better. So don't forget to hit that subscribe and the like and ring that bell. Leave me a message down below. If there's anything that you would like to see, I will be more than glad to build it for you. Thank you and have a wonderful day. See you next time.